All right, what's up, everyone? That intro didn't go quite the way I went. I got some feedback in between. I hate it when I forget to mute the live feed because, well, there's the feed in the Hangouts, obviously, and then there's the YouTube feed. Sometimes I forget to mute the outside, and then it just completely screwed up the intro. But nonetheless, this is the Lifeline number nine. Today we're going to have an amazing guest here, a frequent viewer of these pro-life hangouts. Well, pretty much almost every hangout I do, she's a faithful viewer and just a young, upcoming rising star in the pro-life movement. Good to
Oh,
have you with us, Haley.
good to be here, Antonio.
Yeah, so today, Haley and I are going to take on a big YouTuber by the name of Onision. He did a couple of videos on abortion, and we're just going to look at them and I'm not gonna mince words. I'm just gonna be frank. We're gonna tear them apart. That's what's gonna happen. All right. So um, I wonder which one we should do first because you sent a couple to me. So did you want to do any particular one in mind, or does it really matter which order we go in?
uh, Matter to me.
All right, I'll just pick one. Let's see. Okay, what we got here? Oh, I really thought this one was good. Um, my girlfriend won't get an abortion. What do I do? I'm gonna just save that one. Save the best for last. The first one I'm gonna do is the one you sent me that goes by "Why do women get abortions?" So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and screen share this, and we can give feedback in between and just get to the thrashing of both of these videos. Let's see here. Screen share.
I think I sent 3 links.
I only got two from you from what I can tell. Let me check my messages real quick. Hold on. He did three videos? Because I only,
Uh-huh.
let me see. Um, all right. Uh, yeah, you're right. You did send me three. What's this third one here? Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes it even more fun. That's more videos to tear apart. So, yeah, okay. I didn't see that third one. I thought you had only sent me two, but nonetheless, all right. I'm going to start with this one. Why do women get abortions? All right.
All right.
Okay, let's screen share. All right, here we go.
Hey everybody, today we're going to ask the question, why do women get abortions? I guess if you're asking that question, you probably have very little life experience. So here we go, little.
Very little life experience. He, this looked like, hold on, how old is this video? He seems younger in this one. Hmm. No, that was just last year. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the haircut or the hairstyle. I don't know. Because he's barely older than me. So yeah. All right, let's restart this.
Hey everybody, today we're going to ask the question, why do women get abortions? I guess if you're asking that question, you probably have very little life experience.
Very little life experience. Um, okay, that has nothing to do with life experience. That just has to do with if you are a person who deals with this issue on a regular basis and if you researched it or not. That has nothing to do with life experience. Some people may not really
Right.
care about the issue of abortion that much, but may have a ton of life experience. I really
Mm-hmm.
love the condescension this guy has in his videos and just the nonsensical need of the nonsensical demeanor of arrogance. It's just stupid. This guy's a total freaking clown just to me, honestly. But Let's continue on. This is crazy.
And so here we go, little fella. I guess we know why this chick got.
Little fella, okay. I take great pleasure in like making arrogant little snob pricks like this look stupid. All right. I'm gonna stop it way too many times. I'm just gonna let it play no matter how ridiculous he sounds.
Very little life experience. So here we go, little fella. I guess we know why this chick got an abortion. Because she knows she's much too crazy to raise a child on her own, what with all the insects crawling around her brain. I do not regret my abortion. I'm happy, you're happy, question mark. My question is, why would you hold a sign like that? Yes, you may think your abortion was a very good idea, and it very well could have been. I don't know the specific circumstances. I just don't get the smiling while holding a sign. Okay.
Oh, so he's just a prick in general. It doesn't matter whether you agree with his position. Now he's just a prick, period.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
All right. There's some other stuff I could say about this guy, but I'm going to keep that to myself. And it ain't me insulting him. It's just some other stuff that was named by another YouTuber that I'm subscribed to. But I'm going to keep that out this video and try to stick to attacking his points with substance. Let's go.
Here goes. Doctor's about to poke me good. I had an abortion. I know I'm not the only one who feels it's incredibly awkward to walk around as a pro-abortion billboard. You should never get an abortion just because you want one. You should get an abortion because you need one. You know, like, hey doctor, I was raped and now I'm pregnant with the rapist baby.
Okay, but here's the problem.
He's arbitrarily defining what need means. Like, no woman needs an abortion to survive, right?
Exactly. I mean, is it like if I go without water for too long that you die, or go without food for too long that you die, or oxygen or something like that? Where is his line of need? You can't just simply if something is truly a need, it's not something that you merely arbitrarily define.
Right.
Like, I love when people see, this is the problem with dealing with a lot of pro boards. They like to look at certain words and just change the definitions of what they mean just to suit their nonsensical semantics and their just ridiculous arguments.
Yeah, that's a trend I've noticed too in my own debates.
All right. This is like I said the other day. If I had as many hands as the flying spaghetti monster has pasta tentacles, then that would be nowhere near enough hands for me to facepalm with. Oh my goodness! Why do, man? Is there really that many clueless people on the earth who watch this guy? Honestly,
Need an abortion. Great example. Reproductive rights are civil rights. And then people turn that around on you and they say, what about the baby civil rights? And I counter your point with what Republicans love to do with other human beings who cross their borders without permission. They kick those Mexicans out. You shouldn't prioritize the lives that aren't even.
all right. So you're going to use immigration, illegal immigration, with biological development of the unborn human offspring. Really, dude? Really?
Yeah, I was pretty much face palming at this point.
All right. Let's keep going.
In this world yet over the ones that already are. You'll send children.
And this is another problem. Already in this world. What the heck does that even mean? The unborn offspring are in this world. Where the heck are they? In space?
Right?
They are in this world. The only thing is they're just in the womb. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're going to use the term in this world to mean not born yet, then fine. But the problem is people use that term to mean non-existent um, or irrelevant. Basically, that's how pro-aborts use it.
Well, the unborn are existing. I mean, they're in the mother's womb and growing.
Absolutely. So, yeah. All right, let's continue.
Back over the border and leave them for dead, but what will you do with little not even people yet? Here are women's most important stated reason for an abortion. Reasons in red are the only exceptions allowed in the broadest possible interpretation of Mitt Romney's abortion stance. Apparently, Mitt Romney might be supportive of rape victims, aborting pregnancies that are problematic. That could almost sound reasonable if you didn't fully consider the situation. 25% of women feel they're not old/mature enough to raise this child. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call bullshit. You're old enough to consensually fuck someone, so you should probably be old enough to take the responsibility for what comes after you consensually fuck them. That's all I'm saying. 23% say they're not ready for another child. Oh my god. You would have a child and then abort their sister or brother? I cannot even comprehend that. The reasons women give for having abortion vary considerably. However, relatively few women cite physical health problems as the reason compared to other factors, such as dramatic changes in their life, inability to afford a child, and not wanting to be a single mother. So they're saying that most women are physically capable of having children, but it basically simply does not fit their lifestyle. Okay, so you can't financially support a baby. I guess that makes sense. Although growing up, I was pretty poor, yet I was still grateful to be alive, just because I didn't have the name brands or the latest gadget.
Okay, in certain instances, I get what he's getting at. In other instances, it's like he's just attacking people. I know he ultimately stands for a woman's currently a woman's legal right to get an abortion, but here's the thing: he's just attacking people. It doesn't really matter what side are you on. He's just a jerk. Period.
It seems like he's almost making a pro-life argument in that little segment there.
On a certain level, I'd say he is, but I think he's just saying this basically. He's like, all right, you are giving these stupid reasons for having an abortion. He's basically saying, you know what? It's up to you ultimately whether you get an abortion or not. He's saying that I'm not going to take that legal right away from women, but at the same time, he's like, all right, you got this right, but at the same time, your reasons for why you're getting this abortion and acting upon this legal right is baseless. He truly, truly believes that there is a difference between a need and a want when you get an abortion, and he doesn't think these given reasons above define needs. Although ultimately he's gonna be like, you know what? You give a stupid reason for giving an abortion. That's not really a need, but although I'm not gonna take that away from you, I'm still going to criticize you on the reason why you did it. That's how he's going about it. Does that make sense?
Really, yeah, he's not making sense though.
Yeah, but all it seems like all he's really doing is just attacking women. Honestly, that's what it sounds like to me. Just attacking people in general, whether they agree with his abortion position or not.
It didn't mean I wish I was never fucking born. But I want to ask you guys this. I want you all to think about your mothers. Even if you don't know who she is, you still have one, so think about the idea of her at the very least. If your mother didn't want to raise you, if she didn't want to push you out her vagina, would you want yourself force upon her? Would you really want to be born to someone who literally doesn't want you? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the primary reason why I'm pro-choice. If for some reason I was self-aware...
Well, in that particular case, then maybe someone who does want me should be able to raise me then. There's this myth by pro-aborts with unwanted children. There is no such thing as an unwanted child. None.
Yeah, right. There's always willing to adopt.
Yep. In fact, you have lots and lots of people who are on these long waiting is waiting to adopt a child.
Hmm.
Adoption, people waiting to adopt is crowded beyond belief.
Hmm.
And
And not
what?
every, sorry, not every wanted pregnancy turns into a wanted child. Her and I are prime examples. My mother, my biological mother, very much wanted us when she was pregnant, but shortly after we were born, she kind of neglected us.
Exactly. So that's a spot on amazing point. A wanted pregnancy does not necessitate a wanted child. Likewise,
Hmm.
an unwanted pregnancy does not necessitate an unwanted child because a woman may not want to be pregnant and she may have doubts and be scared. But typically, if women get the right information and if women have someone that really truly loves and cares about them, then they'll change their mind. They'd be like, well, although I'm not ready for this, I, at the same time, am glad that there are people out there who care about me and who love me and who stand by me and will do anything to help me through this ordeal. Most women
Right,
just want somebody to know that they're there for them and that they care about them.
of
And
course.
any person, and I've brought this up in points before, but any person who has that kind of support system, but they turn around and say, no, I don't care about your support system. I don't care about what you offering for um, this fetus inside me. I don't care if you say that you're there for me. I still don't want to be pregnant right now and just get this abortion. Then
At that
that's just
point,
you just being a sick person. That's just the bottom line.
right, at that point, it's no longer about her circumstances, but really about her not wanting to be pregnant anymore.
Exactly. It's just her total um unequivocal selfishness.
And if most women in that case have that support system, they will not want to abort.
Okay. That's absolutely right. Give me just a second, Haley. I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
I'll be right back in about 20 seconds. All right, I'm back. Let's keep going.
Alright, let's do it.
Before I was ever conceived, and I was presented with a reality that my mom did not want me, I would choose to not be born to her. So if you're pro-life in a very loud and clear way, what you're saying is that women shouldn't have complete rights to their own body.
That's not right at all.
Virtually everyone agrees that women should have rights to their own body, but they can exercise that right before they get pregnant and they have another human body in their womb,
Exactly. There's
right?
too many dang options for women to exercise before they get pregnant. Too many. And they still think they should have just as many when after they get pregnant. I find that very problematic because you that's just like saying that once a child is born, even when a child is born, you still have options, all right,
Mm-hmm.
to free yourself from that obligation. Either do something like a drop off at a safe haven location, open adoption, things like this. You have options. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you have options even after the child is born does not give you an excuse to do something like, I don't know, throw the baby in a garbage can, which has happened on way too many occasions. You have options that don't give you an excuse to kill. Nobody would be like, okay, you get an excuse to kill even though you have these options available to you.
Right, all
So
these
nobody
options.
buys that excuse at that point. So why do people buy the excuse that a woman gets a right to kill her unborn offspring when she had options beforehand to avoid that situation to begin with?
I agree.
In the same way, you have the options to avoid raising a child that you're not ready for when the child is born. You have those, you have similar type options before you get pregnant. Nobody is going to be like, well, you um, should be able to kill your child despite the options you had beforehand that you didn't have to raise that child. Nobody's going to say that. So, in the same way, why should a woman get to kill her unborn child because she didn't exercise the options she had beforehand, or she was just too irresponsible to understand if she was going to engage in intercourse, that that's the risk that comes with that. I cannot um, go into a pool and risk drowning and blame like the lifeguard or anyone else for it. The risk in swimming is that you could drown. That's the risk that comes with it. And I accept the risk that comes with that. If I drive a car, I accept the risk that comes with driving a car. I could get into an accident. Somebody else might cause an accident to me. Those are the risks that I accept. I do not get to turn around and blame the state, and the state must give me a way out. Like, for example, I accept the risk of me driving a car and then I cause a car accident to someone else, or someone causes a car accident to me, and I I get to basically get financial help from the state because of the risk that I accept. No, the state shouldn't have to pay for that. That's the risk that I accepted upon myself. The state shouldn't, I shouldn't be able to have a way out by going to the state and having them bail me out the picture. I got to accept that risk. In the same way, she shouldn't have the state be able to protect her because she didn't accept the risk. The things which can come from the risk of having sexual intercourse. Because the problem is, why is it acceptable to have options to kill your child when you refused or didn't care about acknowledging the risk beforehand? You're basically saying that I am aware of these risks. I am aware of what could happen, but I'm going to still kill my child in case everything doesn't go my way. That's basically you being able to have it both ways.
Having your cake and
The
eating it
state is
too.
giving you a way out. Now, if the state was giving me a way out of accidents, or then that would mean that I would be able to go to the state and appeal to them in whatever way such laws would be set up, and they would allow me to get out of the consequences of my risk. Maybe they would allow me to somehow uh, punish someone else for the accident, whether it be the person I had an accident with or the state themselves. I would be able to go to them to get out of what I'm doing. And a lot of people will be like, well, a woman is paying for herself when she has an abortion. The state isn't paying for her. Well, which is true, but the state is still allowing her to pay to get out of the risk that she accepted. Even though it's coming out her own pocket, the state is still allowing her an option to escape the risk that she accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people will say, well, if you get harmed, do you not get to go to a hospital? Do you just have to accept the fact that you was just hurt? And I say, well, here's the thing. Even when I get harmed, I still accept the risk behind it. I can't blame it nobody else, and nobody else can pay for me. I gotta, pay for it out my own pocket or with my own insurance. I can't point the finger at anyone else. And me getting harmed is only involving me. It's not involving another person.
Nope, it's not.
It's not like it's bringing a third party into the picture. With pregnancy, it's not the same thing. You're bringing another party into the picture. It's not like you're saying, look here, you did things to yourself and you're only involving and dealing with yourself. No, you're bringing a third party into the picture. That would be more like I got harmed, but in me getting harmed, I caused the harm of someone else. And that someone else that I harmed should be liable for me harming them.
Mm-hmm.
Like me driving a car and I caused an accident to someone else, and that person be liable for the accident that I caused to them. That's not right. And in the same way, you're basically saying that you accepted a risk and you brought in someone else into the picture, which is your unborn offspring. Now that unborn offspring has to be liable for what you did. That's not right. In the same way, if I cause an accident to somebody else, that they should be liable for what I did. So if I'm talking about myself, I accept the risk which comes with myself, but I'm only dealing with myself. I'm not dealing with bringing in another person. That's why, although I accept the risk, I can do things like pay for my medical bills or use my insurance. But when you bring in someone else, the whole scope changes. When you are the cause of it and someone else is brought in, the whole scope changes. That person isn't should not be liable for what you caused. You owe them like your financial burden or your insurance or whatever. You owe them because you caused them the accident. In the same way, you cannot sit up here and say that if another child, the unborn, is brought into the situation by what you did, that you do not owe that child your obligation. Yes, you do. And the person you caused the car accident to could be a total stranger, yet you still owe that person your obligation financially with like medical bills and insurance to fix or financial burden to fix their vehicle or anything like that. You still owe that person your burden. And if that's true for a stranger, if that could be true for a stranger, then how much more is it true for your own offspring?
I agree. Hey, Antonio, can we move on to the next video?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's only a few seconds left, and he's not going nowhere anyway. All right, is abortion murder terminating pregnancy? All right.
Oh boy, the gem.
Hi, first off, my mom made me this hat like forever ago, so don't you goddamn make fun of it. So you're gonna make fun of it, aren't you? Secondly, today we're gonna answer the question whether or not abortion is murder. And we're not gonna rely on opinions, mostly. No, we're gonna use facts. Facts. Damn.
As if pro-aborts don't rely on opinions and crap they pull out the clear sky to say that abortion isn't murder.
Yeah.
Because here's the argument in a nutshell. The mother feels like it isn't murder, therefore it's not murder.
Real argument someone presented?
But that's their argument in a nutshell, Haley. That's what they do. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't get any more ridiculous than that.
Alright.
So I have to censor out some of this because it's kind of offensive. This is basically a doctor cutting up a baby inside their mother. Apparently that's a 23-week fetus.
Well, at least he admits it's a baby. That's a good start, at least. But
Yeah, no.
let's see how far downhill it goes from here.
Alright.
Was you about to say something, though?
I've noticed that the language he uses in this video and the one that we're going to watch next, he almost kind of defeats his own position with the language he uses, like baby and child. That just kind of by surprise, but go ahead and click play.
Exactly. I hear you. Yep.
Let's see what they actually look like. Okay, another image confirms it. This is what 23 weeks looks like. But it's not even legal in most places to abort a baby that looks like that. The maximum legal limit for most abortions is 24. What? It says, however, the vast majority are 13 weeks. What does a 13-week look like? No. They look all human and stuff. Oh my god, that is so sad. Oh, I'm getting pains in my chest. Like those quivery pains. Not the stabbing pain, it's like a vagina is rubbing my heart right now. Oh, that's right. It makes me feel like I'm gonna cry. Okay. The answer is yes, abortion. I'm just kidding. Hold on. The unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another. Okay, first of all, we're talking.
I haven't even seen this video before, and I already know what he's going to do. He's going to play these legal semantics and be like, yes, legally, yeah. But notice he only presented one definition. Now,
Right.
I'm going to screen share, and I'm pretty sure he got this from dictionary.com or a similar place. But I'm going to screen share some other definitions of murder. And I don't want to get into some huge semantical discussion, but there's way more to it than just that one he cited right there. Let's see, murder. All right. Of course, you got the law definition, the killing of another human being under conditions specifically covered in law. All right. To kill by an act of constituting murder, to kill or slaughter inhumanely or barbarously.
That sounds like
Barbarously.
abortion.
Very interesting. Let's go to another citation. Unlawful premeditated. This one doesn't have, hold on, it might, let me see. Here we go. To kill brutally. So, yes, there are clearly multiple definitions of the word murder. It's not just his legal definition as he put it. So basically, he was being intellectually dishonest, and I'm pretty sure he knows this. He's gonna play up on this unlawful. So if it's lawful, then it's not technically murder by the legal context, the legal semantics he's going to appeal to.
Right, but can we really base our morality off of what is legal and what is not? I don't think we can.
People with common sense and honesty know that, Haley. They know this. a lot of in fact, the overwhelming majority of these pro-aborts arguing this nonsense know this. And I've gotten the reputation of one of the most hated pro-lifers on Facebook for um, just calling out the BS for what it is and calling out their nonsense for what it is, and they can't stand me. Like I've had like two whole pages that I know of built to hate against me and to slander me. But I digress. Anyway,
Unlawful abortion. Obviously, it's a premeditated killing. But what is the definition of human being? A man, woman, or child of the species, Homo sapiens, distinguished from other animals by superior mental development, power of articulate speech, and upright stance. Okay, I find that offensive, and here's why. This kid is mentally disabled and in a wheelchair, so they don't necessarily have superior mental development, nor power of articulate speech or upright stance. Are they not considered a human being? A question that needs an answer. Here's the verb-based definition of murder. Apparently, it's to kill unlawfully and with premeditation. Once again, they say specifically unlawfully. Abortion is the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy, most often performed during the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. According to this, abortion is not murder unless one considers the fetus to be a person, unless the one you speak of is the judge or jury. It doesn't seem to matter in a legal sense, does it? 7 reasons why abortion should be illegal. Oh, is that all? Seriously, if I...
exactly what he did, exactly what I predicted he would do. Just appeal to the legal sense. He was not honest in his assessment of all definitions of murder. If we look at Hitler's Holocaust, for example, it was totally legal to kill Jews and
What were
other people in which Hitler deemed to be unfit races in his society. Now, were those people not murdered by his logic?
apparently not.
Yeah, they were just killed. You know what? They were just, I don't know, just terminated, just killed. Their lives were just taken. But of course, they weren't murdered because there is no possible other definitions of murder, right? There is no moral definition of murder that exists, right? It clearly isn't, and it is, and he knows, and I believe he knows this, and was just being deliberately dishonest.
Mhm.
was anti-abortion, I could come up with like at least 20. It is ending a life. Really? That's your reason? Tell me, what did you have for dinner last night? Obviously, you weren't against ending a life. The child doesn't have...
Really? That's your argument? You're going to conflate human life with a barnyard animal raised and used for human consumption. If you really think that is the same thing, then why should it not be legal to take aborted human fetuses and people be able to eat them for dinner?
I guess he didn't think this through.
Apparently not, because if he really thinks a barnyard animal killed for human consumption is equivalent with a human being, then why should it not be legal to eat human fetuses? Why should it not be? Who cares? It's not like it should be anything morally wrong. I mean, it should be treated like any other piece of meat at that point. If it goes through the right USDA processes and it's cleared for consumption, why not be able to eat it like anything else, right? Because clearly eating meat from other, because humans, the Homo sapiens species is categorized under the animal category. So going by that reasoning, why not put humans into the category in which could be eaten for consumption, like killed unborn human fetuses? Why not? Who cares? It's not like it's a big deal. I'm pretty sure if you went through certain processes to where that meat substance could be um, manufactured in the same way as any other killed animal. It could be open on the market for consumption. If he's gonna really think it's the same thing, then why not? Is not, what would be the big deal? But of course, we don't allow this in our society for a very specific reason because people know it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
They know to kill the human being isn't just a mere object of disposal. They know it's not just something that you can simply just consume like any other dead animal for consumption. They know that there is a difference. And they know that if someone knew that they were eating a human being, that there would be uh, a necessarily a huge inherent challenge to their conscience. Inherently, intrinsically, that would disturb anybody who had any sort of human decency or empathy. So if you're gonna sit up here and be like, "What did you eat for dinner last night?" and honestly compare that to the killing of the unborn, you couldn't be more clueless. We couldn't factor in killed human fetuses as meat consumption or anything like that. If you really think that's really no different at all, then it should be no different for that sort of meat product to be on the market. It should not be. But the reason why it is because people know it's a problem. People know what they're doing is wrong. People know it's wrong to kill an unborn human being. People know it's wrong for something like that to be out on the market because they realize what the nature of that entity is. And it's not enough to just kill that entity and still not acknowledge that nature because people clearly do acknowledge that nature. That's the reason why it's only the aborted human remains are only legally used for certain things and not others because they want to keep these things out the eye of the public so people can stay in the dark. If human fetuses was open on the market for human consumption, if they ever did that at any point, then abortion would be illegal faster than you can blink your eyes. Because people would all of a sudden wake up and see the horrific nature behind the um, um, action, the process, which is abortion. People understand that even when you kill an unborn fetus, that there's still a powerful nature within that entity that challenges the conscience. That's the reason why, generally speaking, killed unborn fetuses are not available to the public in any capacity in the same way that, let's say, meat from cows is available to the public. They know there's a difference in nature, and they know people will have a problem, and they know people will light a fire up their butts and get their precious, beloved abortion overturned and illegal. They know this. So they want to keep the aborted fetal remains from the public to keep people in mindless ignorance. Like you, Onision, just like you, by bringing up that nonsense comparison. What did you eat last night? Are you kidding me, dude? Are you freaking kidding me? Now, in the mental jujitsu points that I've ever given you, have you ever heard the argument about if they really think it's no different than any other, then why would they not allow it for food consumption? Have you ever heard that point before? Let me see. Oh, I didn't know she was gone. Okay. Well, anyway, let's continue on. I didn't even know she left. I'm just gonna continue watching, and I'll do some self analysis myself on this. Okay, we lost connection. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm gonna get her back in here. I didn't realize that we had lost connection with each other. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get her back in here. Let me see if this is still going. Yep, it's still going on. Okay. Well, let's just wait for a second until she comes back. I'm just gonna stop this until Haley comes back in. Okay. Hi, what's up?
Hey, sorry, we lost connection right there for a bit.
Oh, okay. All right, but did you hear my recent comments about like the whole food consumption bit and how they know that the nature is different?
Oh, yeah.
I was just asking like if you've ever heard it put that way before. Have you ever heard that point brought up?
I have not. That was an interesting take on it. That's why I'm glad we're doing this hangout.
Oh, cool. Sounds good. But let's continue on. But when he brought up that whole bit about like comparing
All
what
right, fine.
we ate last night with abortion, I thought that was really just really stupid.
It is.
All right, let's keep going.
Have a choice, says the same people who likely mutilate their babies' ears or genitals when they're born based on their gender. If you care about choice.
All right, all right. Now, is he gonna honestly equate medical procedures like um things like circumcision with taking of a child's life? Are you going to say that something like circumcision is morally equivalent with outright taking your kid's life?
It is pretty ridiculous.
And I know that, yeah, and I know there's an ongoing debate about circumcision and all this other stuff, but no honest person in their right mind can honestly say that stuff like ear piercing and circumcision or things like that is on any par level the same thing as outright taking your kid's life. When they say the child doesn't have a choice, we mean a choice to live, not necessarily a choice in certain things that we would do, like, I don't know, certain medical procedures or certain things like ear piercing and whatnot.
I agree. Hey, Antonio, I've got my little cousin here with me. Say hi, boo boo. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm doing good.
Awesome, man.
All right, let's keep going, Antonio.
Okay. That is the boy, right? In the middle of the screenshot, I couldn't see what that was, a boy or a girl.
Hmm?
Your cousin, that is a boy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was just trying to make sure because I couldn't tell. All right, but okay. But like I was saying, like stuff like circumcision and or here's another point. There's a debate about vaccination. You got people that are on the extremes of both sides, people that are vehemently for it and people who are vehemently against it. But the reason why a parent would vaccine their child or would refuse to vaccine their child is because they believe in their parental opinion that vaccination or non-vaccination is the best thing for their child. Now, I would not criticize a parent for doing either one. I think it's ultimately up to them. And people are going to be on extreme sides at the end of the day, but that's ultimately a choice that's up to the parent. Are you going to say that the fact that a child doesn't have a choice to be vaccinated or not is morally equivalent to taking your child's life entirely? No, it's not. Come on. Who listens to this guy? Honestly, who thinks these are actual good points? I'm starting to really understand why I've gotten something around the order of like over 135 some odd pro boards who've refused to debate me. You there, Haley?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm just saying that I'm starting to really understand why I've gotten so many pro boards to
Oh, yeah.
refuse
I,
to debate
I
me
heard you.
because their points are just bad and they know that they're not going to look any kind of good way in trying to defend this crap
Right.
in a live voice chat debate. They don't want to look stupid live.
Hmm.
Now, I've done my share of like destruction and destroying this nonsense. Maybe you can take over for a bit because I can tend to get a bit long-winded when I'm dealing with this because this is how absurd this crap is. So, um, I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and you can take over from here.
All
Why is
right.
that inconsistent?
You
And
can
also,
just
why
play
do
the
you
rest of
consider
the
a
video.
human being that's already
What'd you say?
You can go ahead and play the rest of the video.
Okay.
in this world, the woman carrying the baby? What if she was raped? Where is her choice? Due to the fact that the fetus is still developing, many consider it non-human. An unborn offspring of a mammal, in particular an unborn human baby, more than 8 weeks after conception. Oh, so if you try to terminate your pregnancy earlier than that, it's not even considered killing a fetus. Even when abortion was illegal, it had lesser punishment than for murder, and was often just a misdemeanor. Historically, a fetus has never or very rarely been considered a human being. Here's a question for you. What do we call a seed when we plant it in the ground?
I got to respond to that point about before abortion was illegal, it was considered a it was considered like a misdemeanor. Um, yes, it was considered a misdemeanor for the woman. It was not considered like a misdemeanor for the abortionist.
Hmm.
At those times, typically the abortionist would get in more trouble than the lady who actually got the abortion.
Oh,
Typically,
yeah.
the heavier penalties came upon the abortionist, not the woman who got the abortion.
Yeah, in fact, I think before Roe v. Wade, only 2 women were incarcerated for getting abortions.
Exactly. So the fact that we've gotten smarter over the years in dealing with certain things and saying that it was a misdemeanor does not in any way have any effect on the value of the unborn.
Nope, it does not.
Just because society, like, well, we're going to only give a misdemeanor to the woman does not mean anything. Even if the abortionist wasn't charged heavily, that still doesn't mean anything. That's just as stupid as saying that people didn't get charged for beating slaves or and things like that. But that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-mm.
Specific, let's say it's a flower bulb. Is that flower bulb a flower? Because I gotta tell you, most anyone will look at that flower bulb and say, that's not a flower. In fact, a lot of people might identify it as a nut. Now, I don't feel good saying.
All right. Now, you and I talked about this a while back about how they do things like,
Like an egg is not a chicken and whatnot.
yeah.
I think he's actually about to bring that up in his video, bring out the egg example. Go ahead
All
and
right.
say it.
But analogies like that often help put things in perspective. When you look at an egg, do you call it a chicken or do you call it an egg? At the very best, if that egg is fertilized, I'll call it an unborn baby chicken. But even so, when people look at it, they're still going to call it an egg. The same applies to many animals. When you see one creature that looks and behave one way, you look in a different direction, you see creatures that look different and behave in a totally different way. It's difficult for people to look at the both of them and say, that's the same thing. In most every scenario, I personally look at abortion as a very sad situation. As you can see, most people who get abortions are very likely first-time moms, or maybe not even first-time moms. And that's likely because they don't know the joy of having a child. When you actually produce this life, when they're born to you, most all moms experience a feeling that they never even fathomed in their entire life. It's this overwhelming sensation of love and absolute joy for this human being that just came into your life. Just gave birth to someone who's going to be in your life for at least 18 years. Somebody who could very well be a great friend of yours someday. And that's a completely and utterly beautiful thing. But that's not what this video is about. It's not about the beauty of having a child. It's about whether or not abortion is actually considered murder. Murder isn't my word. It's not your word. It's more often than not a legal word. So just because that word sounds good to you,
It was somebody's word. Murder was clearly somebody's word. It ain't about it being your word or my word. It's
Yeah.
about the standard you use for your position.
Yeah, and then he says this video is not about whether or not abortion is murder, but that is the title of his video. That's what he's been talking about.
Exactly. Is an abortion murder or not? All right.
when you use it in association with something, doesn't make your use of that word accurate. Now, with that aside, abortion is definitely the termination of potential. It's hard to say when that fetus becomes a human being.
Termination of potential. All right. That's the same thing as saying that a human infant, killing a human infant is the termination of adult potential.
Yeah.
There's potential in the majority stages of life. If you're not somebody who's in like their 90s plus in their twilight years, then most years before that are going to be a potential which could happen later on down the line, later on down the road. So are you going to make that potentiality argument in other stages of human life? Or are you just going to arbitrarily apply it to the unborn?
Right, and I think the sled test would be good to insert here.
Exactly.
Fetus could already be a human being. Obviously, the definition we covered earlier wasn't quite fair, was it? But something that's clearly black and white is the definition of murder. And when you say people who get abortions are murderers, you're very, very likely wrong. I say again, murder is not my word. It is not your word. It is a legal word. Maybe you could say killers. The word kill is a lot more loose than the word.
Well, I can apply that same argument to the more specific definitions, the whole collective of the word murder that we looked up. The word to kill barbarously or to inhumanely slaughter, definitions like that, those are not your words or not my words. They are just a word, or you're going to say it's a legal word. It's not about, again, it's not about whether it's your word or mine. It's about you holding a particular position and the basis for why you hold that position. And of course, if you hold the position on a legal aspect, then that's the appeal you're going to make. It's not about your word or my word. That's not the point, Onision.
Hey Antonio, there's only a few more seconds left of this video, and he's not really gonna say anything of substance, so
Yeah, in the first two videos, I agree. He wasn't going anywhere. All right.
oh yeah,
Let's
this one's gonna crack you up.
okay. He's already had two strikes. Let's see if he strikes out here.
Oh, he does.
Guys, today we're searching for my girlfriend won't get an abortion. What do I do? Oh my god. First of all, if you're searching for that, you're a terrible person. Just throwing that out there. I know, I'm stupid and I have shitty opinions. But that still remains my opinion. You're supposed to step up, asshole. She's like, oh my god, Bradley got me pregnant. You know what Bradley's doing? He's like, yeah, got that bitch in love. The only time in a relationship where it's a really bad thing to get someone pregnant, financial issues and school aside, is when you don't actually like the person you're with. And that moves me to ask the question, why are you having sex with them? If you don't really like and or love someone, don't put your penis in them and don't let them put their penis in you. This baby was born when the mother was only 4.5 months pregnant and is a normal, healthy child today. When's the abortion cutoff date? Okay, so most states are 24 to 26 weeks. Let's do the math. I use the calculator because I'm an idiot or smart, depending on how you look at it. Apparently 24 weeks equals 5 months. So yeah, this child would still be in the kill zone, which is a little disturbing, but I'm not a woman, so I should shut the fuck up now. Oh my god, Juan.
All right. What does you being a woman or a man have to do with anything? Okay. See, okay. Here's what I can't understand. They think it's appropriate on them to speak about a woman being able to have a right, but they don't think it's appropriate for them to speak on the right potentially being taken away. They don't want to be like, well, it's not my body, so I shouldn't say anything. But the problem is, who did say something originally to make that legal? Was it men involved? Like if you look at Roe v. Wade in the United States, that was decided by 9 men on the Supreme Court at the time.
Absolutely, and if we're gonna disqualify men from being pro-life, then it's also fair that we disqualify them from being pro-choice, right?
Exactly. Then no dudes at all should speak on it at all. It should be only women literally talking about it at all. And maybe we should overturn Roe v. Wade by that logic and let women only rule on the issue. Let women deliberate over it.
You know, statistics say 70% of women agree that abortion is immorally wrong.
Exactly. And the thing is, in my experience, in my pro-life advocacy years, especially here online and social media and places like Facebook, the overwhelming majority of support that I get comes from women.
Right, and I have a pretty big circle of pro-life friends now, and the majority are women.
Yes, that pretty much kills, decimates, obliterates, disintegrates their entire narrative that this is some issue by men, or more specifically, when they get more and more sexist slash racist with it, they'll say something like, "Oh, the white men," which is a total lie because I'm clearly not categorized as what most people would think. Oh, I'm 30 years old and I'm a black man, so and I'm against abortion. You are what, 18, 17, 18 years old and a white lady.
I'm gonna be 18 in a month. So.
Yeah, so as young as you are, a white lady against abortion, okay? This notion about white men is just, it's just stupid. All of this is just buzzwords and phrases and um, talking points and rhetoric. That's all what it comes down to.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and
So I
play.
got the right.
Did you say something?
I just said go ahead and play it. I want you to see what he says.
And my boyfriend left me, and now I want to kill myself. That's so funny, Stacy. It's not funny, bitch. But it's not your fault because I invented you. 1 in 3 teens in the United States will be pregnant by age 19. Well, that's not so scary. Not if you said by 17. Okay, you're not even out of high school yet. Let's get our act together. Okay, stop, pigtails. Stop. Why are you doing things with other people? I mean, come on. It looks like you should be playing with a coloring book. Honey, when I was 11, I was getting to third base with a 15-year-old chick. She apologized later, but that ain't no big deal. Said she was embarrassed that she made out with an 11-year-old me. Should I take that personally? My girlfriend won't get an abortion. Why?
And I just thought I'd plug something in here real quick. It's amazing the hate that pro-lifers like us constantly get. And no matter how nice we are, no matter how much grace that we show, we get accused for hate, and not just, like you hated on me for this thing, but you just hate the person, like you literally hate the depths of their soul. That if you are pro-life, you hate women to such a depth that you hate the depths of their soul. If you are a man, then you are a misogynist. And if you are a woman, you have internalized misogyny. But we get accused for that sort of hatred. But this guy, who's clearly being a condescending jerk to people who generally would agree with him or disagree with him, a lot of people listen to this dude. And his video got a lot of likes. Like, how do pro-aborts not see someone like him as the real problem? And I know you have like these sick pro-aborts out there who basically use abortion as just a go-to killing tool whenever they need it. But a lot of women who get abortions were women who didn't even know what their options were, women that were scared and women that were pressured and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So I don't recall at any point in this video where he took that into account. Do you?
Nope.
Probably because she feels love for the baby growing inside of her. And it's her choice, not yours. Now, if you want to figure out a way to get female organs inside of you and somehow function so you can get pregnant and then abort them, that may very well be your right. But until you have all those female parts, you can just shut the fuck up. The best answer comes from someone with shitty grammar, and yet somehow they're kind of right. They say, you're stupid, it's her decision, not yours. Listen, guys, I don't know if you got this warning or not, but apparently there are risks on both sides when it comes to having sex. Your risk is growing a baby inside of her and then raising that child for 18 years. Your risk is, of course, getting someone pregnant.
All right, I gotta expand on this point about men just shutting up. When do men shut up? And when can they speak? Why is it okay for men to legislate laws in government, but it's all of a sudden when we're just talking about the issue, we need to just be quiet? Now, look at the logic behind this thinking. People actually who can rule and alter your life legally that affects you directly. People in the government who can actually affect you directly and talk and make laws or pass laws to where affect you directly. You think they can talk on the issue, but people who cannot affect you legally, like us, we have to shut up.
People have opinions on issues that don't directly affect them all the time, and they vote on those issues.
Exactly. So where is this logic about it's in the law or it's not in the law? Well, legislators who got personal opinions and biases of their own, lawmakers and pastors and whatnot, they can talk on it all day. But people like us, or really more usually people like me, can't say anything.
Mhm.
Men like me can't say anything. But if the men are in the legal system and they're actually ruling on it, they can talk all day and pass um, or overturn laws.
That's
Nobody
actually
says anything about them.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a scary thought to me because you're only granting freedom of speech to those who are in power.
Exactly. It's just stupid. If they were consistent in their logic, then they would have to say that literally no men in office can talk. Anytime abortion comes up on the legal level, then it has to be women involved in the process. It has to be women involved in it all the time. Only women can handle this law. No men can handle this law at all. If they were consistent in their logic, then no men would be able to say anything. But they know that's not how it works.
Right.
They can't sit up here and say that if someone is in office and they're pro-life, that they cannot have a decision on this because they know what that would mean is that they are irrationally saying that only certain people and only certain opinions are welcome to rule on certain things in politics. And that's not how politics works. That's not how our legal system works. Because if only certain people were okay to rule on certain things, then you would have to apply those sorts of biases to anything. Only those who hunt and fish, only those who hunt and fish should be able to talk about hunting and fishing laws. How stupid is that logic?
It's pretty nonsensical.
So only women who can get pregnant or should be allowed to vote and do things on a legal level with the laws. That's stupid because basically you are being sexist. You're saying only these people are allowed to operate these laws in this way. Only these people who can get pregnant can operate these laws. That's dumb. That's not how we do anything in government in any sort of issue, whether it's abortion, gay marriage debate, whether it's gun control, whether it's immigration. We don't act these sorts of ways in these issues. So you're a man, you must shut up. So are you going to apply that logic to the legal level? No, you're not going to do that because you know it'll make you look flat out stupid. So don't sit up here and tell me that just because I'm a man, I can't say anything and have an opinion.
Right. All right, go ahead and continue.
Financially liable for that child for 18 years. In many places, she can abort the baby because she has basic human rights to her own body. You, however, can't bail if she wants to keep the baby. So before you stick your penis in a girl, think about that. My girlfriend won't get an abortion. I don't want a baby. I love babies. They are cute. Not like I'm evil or anything. Oh, yes, you are. Because I read ahead slightly and you said that you're 19, not 16, 15, 14, 13, 19, which means you're a legal adult, so you should probably step the fuck up. It's not fair. I did not agree to a baby. Yes, you did. When you have sex with a woman, you are signing a fucking contract.
Well, we should be able to make that same argument for a woman too.
Absolutely, yes. Oh my goodness.
There's this mindset in society that because women are seen to be the less physically strong species, that they're basically looked at as the physically weaker species. And on top of being physically weaker as a general rule, they carry children on top of that. Putting that all together, it's this mindset to basically um, um, treat women like victims and hold them by the hand. And there are a lot of women out there, especially pro-life women, who take insult to that, who say that, no, don't look at me as a woman. Don't look at me in that way. Just because I'm a woman does not make me a victim.
Right.
Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that me having babies makes me a victim. I'm a very strong woman who can not only have my baby, but can take care of my baby and still raise a family and pursue a career at the same time. That's what strong women do. That's what strong women say.
I agree. Hey, Antonio, I hate to cut this short, but I have to go. Would you mind finishing this up for us?
Yes, I will. Thank you so much for dropping by, Haley. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Same here, Antonio. I'll text you later tonight.
All right, sounds good. Have a good day.
You too, Antonio.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
On that contract, it says if you get me pregnant, I do not have to abort the baby. So maybe stop sucking at safe sex, idiot. That poor fucking child has you as a father. That fucking sucks. It's her body. There's absolutely nothing you can say or do to make her get one if she doesn't want it. You should really have thought of the whole baby thing before you decide to have sex. Exactly. I understand you being 19 and it's hard to resist. No, it's not. It's called self-control.
If only that same logic was applied equally to the woman, but we'll never ever get people being honest and looking at the sexes as equal. There only takes certain things that the sex can do or can't do and try to use those things certain sexes can and can't do to do this sort of teeter-totter rights argument. That's stupid.
I'm thinking with your fucking brain, not your balls. What's wrong with you people? That's not an excuse. My girlfriend won't get an abortion. What do I do? There's no way in hell I'm going to be a dad. Oh, you don't get to decide that. Once upon a time, you were able to decide that, but that decision has already been made. Plus, the contract got you in lock, bitch. So maybe you should be a man because you clearly have a penis and step the fuck up. In response to this guy saying, I'm not going to be a dad, they say, yes, you are. Now go get a job. Unless, of course, you want to breastfeed the baby. Do you want to breastfeed the baby? Because she can go to work and you can stay home and just, just kidding. I'm like,
well, I agree with all these things, but again, he needs to be consistent and apply that same criteria to women.
women, your nipples are useless. Okay, so my parents are hardcore Catholics and are always on my back about Jesus. They told me that if I ever get a girl pregnant, allow her to have an abortion, my soul will go to hell, no matter what, and they would give up on me. They then said that they wanted their parents to get out of their back. They asked their girlfriend to let him come inside of her so she could get pregnant and have an abortion. I know abortion isn't technically classified as murder, but I'm pretty sure when you premeditate an abortion before the person even gets pregnant, that's almost as close as it gets to abortion being murder. I will intentionally create life just so I can kill it. Anyway, to answer your question, if your girlfriend gets pregnant from your baby and refuses to get an abortion, the first thing you should do is hug her, because she just gave you one of the biggest compliments in the world. She literally just confirmed that she's okay with bringing your offspring into this world. She's cool with carrying around your child for 9 months and pushing the baby out her vagina. Dude, as far as girlfriends go, there's a good chance you gotta keep her on your hands. So stop being a fucking prick. Figure out how you're gonna afford everything financially. Maybe ask your family to help you set up a baby shower and, pull all your resources. Be a good fucking father. You made the commitment, motherfucker. Now step up to the plate. Anyway, that's what you do. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Oops, sweets.
Well, I can't disagree with a lot of the last part he said there. He was right on point. My concern is when people don't apply this same criteria to women, that they look at women as these victims who need abortion as sort of a crutch, because that's what it is. But I think we've basically come to the end of that. There's really not much more to say here. There's really not much more we need to add. This was the Lifeline number 9, Antonio and Haley versus Onision. We've basically tore his arguments to shreds, so there's nothing much more to say here. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this hangout. So thanks for watching, folks. God bless you and take care. Peace.